Alright friends, and we're back with another budget model railroad project from ALCo for Tyco.
From Tyco, of course.
Okay, so here's what we got going on right now. We still got parts waiting for our ALCo 630, so in the meantime we're going to be building ourselves an excursion car. And how we are going to do this is I found this old AHM stock car that was sitting in my junk pile, and to keep it in the spirit of Tyco, I found a Mantua underframe. I don't even remember what this came from. Now here's the interesting thing about the Mantua underframe here. This is pig iron, so this is already our weight. And then a few other things we're going to be using for our project is Evergreen Scale Models number 2037, which is car siding. And we're also going to be using some, I believe these are 80 by 80. I don't remember. These were not in the bag. And this is going to be for our roof. Now, Bachmann makes a very nice excursion car kit. Bachmann also makes a very expensive excursion car kit. So this is a more budget-friendly way of doing it, especially if you go to the swap meets or you've got old parts of projects lying around. This doesn't necessarily have to apply with this type of car. We're just using this type of car because, yeah, I have it. But you can do this with any older type of car that you don't need on your pike, or you've got sitting on your pike collecting dust, or maybe it's just some sort of a car that you don't need anymore. It really doesn't matter. But I'm trying to keep in the spirit of the channel name, which is why I'm glad I have this Mantua slash Tyco 40-foot underframe. And for this AHM car, it's got a lot of exterior details which has to be removed, like our ladders, because what we are going to do with this particular car is we're going to open it up here and we're going to remove the doors so that we have a place for our passengers to come in. We'll be building some benches and we'll be cutting it down. Now this is actually something that, you know, prototype roads do. The Virginia Truckee out here in Virginia City actually has that same sort of premise. They've got a wooden 40-foot gondola, I believe. Doggone it. That they happen to use as an excursion car. Now we're going to be doing our first cuts. We're going to be doing it below this line here. And we're going to be using the ribs as our guide. Now I think I mentioned before about going to the doctor to getting my whatever's in my thumb out. I went to the doctor and they didn't get what was in my thumb out, so I may have to take a second trip here to see what the heck is going on with this thing. Or I might get to be one of those weird people and just get my X-Acto knife and cut whatever it is out. I probably will go to the doctor. Alright, so we made our cuts into here, and we're just going to work our lines. And we're going to work yeah, it's riding up again, but that's okay. We kind of want it riding up more than we want it riding down, that's for darn sure. Really try not to snap anything here. Alright. And now the top part can become a chicken coop. Alright, we got our bottom done. As you can see here, not everything's always perfect. So we're going to have to build some tabs into here to keep this on top of our frame, which we're not going to worry about at the moment. We're just going to go ahead and find my sanding stick, which I just had. And we have cheated the system. We've gone ahead and we've done this. Put those to the side. Open up our flooring and get that ready. Oh, and this is good. So now I have a choice. I can either do it lengthwise, because I do have this, but we don't want to do it lengthwise because most freight cars is bottom fed. So we want our scribing to be this way as we're putting this down. It's going to get in the way here. And we'll just use the scribe and brake motion. It's because I don't need all this. I just need enough for what we have to do here. So this will be our floor. And obviously with this one I can't do much because I've got this little rod down here and I want to keep that detail. So I want to do this upside down. Little scribe, and then we're going to get out our handy dandy little Walmart cutter so I can get a nice straight cut. I like this thing. I have to admit, I really like this thing. It makes to make good, solid cuts. I want to use the scoring end. You'll notice I'm doing this all before I even begin to cut the doors. There's obviously a way on that. And again, this sort of project doesn't necessarily have to apply to this type of car. Although I would think a stock car would be best suited. But this could also be done to, like, say that short little 40-foot gondola that you have lying around that really has no purpose on your pike. But one thing's for certain, this is a lot cheaper than the Bachmann car. And it's a fun little project. Now with the stock car, while we're having this dry, I'm going to have the entryway here where the doors were. So I'm obviously going to have the doors removed. They're not going to serve a purpose. But on whatever excursion car you decide to build, whether it be, say, a 50-foot boxcar or a gondola or something like that, you don't necessarily have to have the entries on the sides. You could put the entries on the back. The Virginia Truckee does that. Their gon is that they have the cuts here, so you can walk into the caboose and then walk in here. Alright, so we're going to let that dry. We're going to change my laundry over to the spin cycle. Alright, so I remember finding these seats from another project. These are actually extra seats from a passenger car project that I did. These are made by Plastruct, and these are going to go in here row by row, like so. And you'll notice I'm going to leave some room behind it, but I'm also going to have these things wheelchair accessible because I don't have enough seats for this job, but that's my story and I'm sticking to it. The next thing we're going to be doing here, though, before we put our seats in, is we have to put our supports in. So with that, alright, I can't find my wonderful little metal ruler, which is fine. I mean, I've got this crazy little micro scale job that'll do for me. So as we make our posts, we want to make them all uniform and high enough. And I'm thinking 8 feet should be the right measurement here. Now I want to do a little bit of a rant. So I was looking for some more chisel blades, and Hobby Lobby didn't have them. Michaels didn't have them, so I had to order them on Amazon. And as you can see here, this wasn't the right width at all, and it really irritates the heck out of me because it's like I specifically ordered chisel blades for an X-Acto knife, and I got this. But I'm making it work. We just want to go ahead and duplicate that cut. So we'll put 2 in the corner. Now mind you folks, this isn't the way of making an excursion car. Obviously, this is a way. But I believe that when we're done with this, it's going to turn out really, really cool. So again, I gotta finagle this. Because, you know, Amazon can't give me the right part because they can't explain things too well. There we go. Now we want our supports to be a little angled. So let me think about this for a minute on how I want to do this. This is where the thinking phase comes in. Because I want to be really cool and I want to put a peak on this. So let's make it 10-foot cut. Now I found I believe this is 60 by 60. This may be 40 by 40, I'm not sure. I'll do this 3 more times. Measure twice, cut once. Or is that cut twice, measure once? Now I got to give these all an angle. That's my thin stuff. Now this is the beauty of MEK versus superglue, is because MEK as a solvent will actually melt our plastic into a better shape and mold it at the same time. Of course, I'm doing this all by eyeball. That looks good. Go ahead and tap tack these on. Let's give that a minute or two to dry. And then comes the fun part. There we go. Now our tarp was probably the coolest but yet the messiest part of our assembly here. I decided to use a sandwich bag to make our tarp, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to tack that on, and then we're going to go ahead and paint it. And I think this is what would separate my car from, say, the Bachmann types. And this is also quite a realistic thing for such a route. So I'm going to have to drape this over, figure out where it's even-ish. Alright, and we have our tarp nicely laid. As you can see, I already put in the seats. We're going to give this a few minutes to dry. We'll put it out in the paint shop. And since it's outside, we're going to go ahead and since it's outside, we're going to go ahead and paint outside. I'm not going to take the camera out there. We're going to go ahead and paint the tarp blue, and then we will paint this a raw umber, I believe. So here's the paints I've got now that I'm using for my airbrush. And these are nice. I picked these up at the Nevada art store. They're called Golden High Flow Acrylics. And I really like how they flow out of my airbrush, for one. And for another, I like the cleanup. All I have to do is just use regular alcohol to clean them out of my airbrush, and my airbrush is ready to go. So before I do anything, yeah, okay. I just wanted to make sure the top was off. Alright, so let's get this out to the paint shop. And let's get everything painted. As you can see here, and once again, I've already had the doors cut and the seats put in. And we're ready for this. Alrighty, and there she is. Our excursion car is done, ready for an underframe and passengers. So, a couple of little touch-ups I still need to do on it, but for the most part, this is done. I have to touch up a little bit on the paint here on the tarp, but as you can see, that little plastic sandwich bag really gives it a little bit better of a look. Now, I always say that, you know, you should paint the tarp once you've put it on, and that's just because that way it'll hold its shape a little bit better. But yeah, that looks really nice and realistic there. So there you have it, folks. An excursion car for a lot cheaper than the Bachmann one and a lot more original looking. So until the next time, I am Psycho for Tycho. Hey friends, thanks for watching the video. I know you're at the end, but if you like this video, just remember every 2 weeks I'm going to be bringing out a new video on budget model railroading, the history of Tycho trains, the history of other model railroad companies, and some how-to things that maybe you've never learned before or you've known and you want to share with your friends but you never knew how. Well, here's the way. All you got to do on this video is like, share, subscribe, and if you want notifications, hit the little bell there, which I still don't know how to do, but we'll figure it out eventually. But until then, hey, we'll see you in the next video, and I am Psycho for Tycho.